If Washington backs down and signs another temporary deal with this system, aren't they just guaranteeing a much more brutal, nuclear armed conflict a few years down the line?
I'm sorry to say, I would have to respond yes. First of all, it would be a strategic and tactical defeat for the United States. It would be a humiliation for the United States. And it would show that the United States is not the superpower that it claims to be currently, and that unfortunately for the Iranian, so that would be bad for the Americans, that would be bad for America's place in the world, and it would be bad for a world order which up to now and still is backstopped by US military power and US diplomatic power. It would also be, I think, it would be a defeat for the vast majority of Iranians who desire freer and democratic Iran. It would be a total defeat for them. They would have to live under a regime which is again empowered and still has access to nuclear weapons, still has access to their proxies, and still has access to their ballistic missiles and cruise missiles and drones. Weaken, of course, but for the many, many millions, 60 million, 70 million Iranians who hoped that maybe this would lead to a freer Iran, I think that they would just lose motivation for the next generation, or maybe certainly for the next several years, in a decade, perhaps. I mean, that is a very dark and grim interpretation, but unfortunately, I think that if the United States comes to an agreement and accepts any of the maximalist demands of this regime, it would be terrible for the United States and the vast majority of freedom-loving Iranians.